Good morning, evening, or afternoon to all of you beautiful people. Josh here, back to bring you some sweet voice-based content. So as I've mentioned on numerous occasions, I fucking love D&D. I adore playing the game, and I've even made a couple of videos on the channel on this particular subject. One of the biggest reasons I and so many others love D&D is the characters that we get to bring to life. Our own special people who we roleplay as based off existing archetypes or brand new creations. From kobold paladins to orc barbarians, from tiefling bards to literally fucking Legolas. We meticulously craft our characters and excitedly wait for the chance to play them in a game. So in an attempt to send some love to the characters I've created in my time, as well as give me a chance to edit something a bit cool together, I've decided to create a brand new series on my channel called D&D Introducing, where I take up far too much of your time explaining the backstories of some of my favourite OCs that I've brought to D&D. And for the first episode, I give you my most fleshed out D&D character, Khadga, my Dragonborn monk. Very quick note for this series, especially for Khadga, I'm going to be sticking purely to the backstory of the characters and not any of the adventures they've gotten up to in campaigns. Especially as Khadga is currently the character I use in my current campaign, so that is a lot of stuff that would take me far too long to cover. So with all the preliminary stuff out of the way, it's about time I introduced you to the Dragonborn Khadga. Let's go! Deep in the mountains, far from any civilization and clear from the hustle and bustle of city life, live one of the most powerful races of all, the Dragonborn. Hatched from eggs laid by the mighty creatures they share their name with, the Dragonborn are noble and faithful to their ancestors, their clans, and to one another. Their loyalty is as unbreakable as the scales covering them from head to toe, gifted to them by their dragon kin. And their lives are led simply to serve each other and the elders of their village. Within a small village in the northern mountains of Sora lived a proud and powerful dragonborn martial artist named Khadga. Fiercely competitive and driven to constantly improve his skills, Khadga established himself as the best martial artist not only in his village, but to the visiting villagers who would compete regularly in tournaments to establish the strongest and most disciplined martial artist of all Dragonborn. When not competing or training, Khadga's boisterous laugh could be heard from the bottom of the mountains as he merrily drank in his local taverns, playing his trusty pan flute and singing songs of his victories, his clan, and most importantly, his friends. But after what would be his final tournament victory, a set of Dragonborn mages known as the Mias lost a significant amount of money betting against Khadga and vowed to make him pay. One fateful night, the Mias lured one of the village elders behind the local tavern and murdered him with an enchanted blade. As Khadga would regularly assist the tavern with bringing stock in from the back once delivered, the Mias planted the body and planned to frame Khadga for the murder. However, Khadga was only the second to discover the body. The first, his childhood best friend, Nareen, who stumbled over the body and screamed loudly. Khadga heard her scream and rushed out, mortified by the sight of the elder. Unfortunately, the tavern owner came out a few minutes after and immediately blamed Nareen for the murder. As bold as ever, Khadga was unwilling to let his friend be exiled for something she didn't do. So instead, Khadga took the blame himself and agreed to exile himself from the village. Disgusted by the sight that plagued his eyes, the tavern owner gave Khadga a mere minute to gather his things and leave the village, before summoning everyone in the village to take his life. Khadga agreed, packed a small bag and left the village, but not before informing Nareen to keep a watchful eye out. Khadga would call the incident a blessing in disguise, as if somebody was to harm or murder Nareen following the incident, it would reveal the real assailant. He asked Nareen not to contact him until the day that his name was cleared, and with that, Khadga left into the night, known as a traitor to his entire village, except Nareen and the Mias, who knew that if anything was to happen now that Khadga had left, they would immediately be implicated. The plan had indeed backfired. Nareen was safe from harm, and the Mias was left without money, or the head of the person they intended to frame. Now, most in this situation would understandably be left to pure misery. But Khadga, ever the optimist and driven soul, took this as a blessing in disguise. Traveling from town to town, Khadga would visit the local taverns, discover what was causing the town problems, and endeavor to fix them before moving on to the next place. fighting bandits, repairing buildings, gathering supplies, entertaining the townsfolk. No task was beneath the merry Dragonborn. Through his efforts, Khadga became something of a folk hero, a legend going by many names who would selflessly resolve the issues of a town, and then leave, merrily playing his pan flute as he went. However, due to his concerns of the Miaz and his past life catching up with him, he would never stay in one place for long, and thus was unable to form any strong bonds. It is a lonely life, but one that Khadga feels fulfilled by, and one he will continue to live until his time on Earth comes to an end, or until his name is cleared and he can once again return home. Which of these fates will Khadga be left to? Only the future knows. And there we go, that is the story of Khadga the Brave. As mentioned, I'm currently in a campaign with Khadga, so his story has taken even more twists and turns, including summoning a fire demon and surfing down a staircase on a goblin's back. But for now, Khadga's story has yet to be completed. This video was honestly a lot of fun to make, and if anybody would like a video like this in the future for their own characters, maybe I'll consider making one or helping out with the creation of one. If that is the case, then let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, then do leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more beautiful voice-based content. Keep your eyes out for my next video. I do upload every 2 weeks, but until next time, my friends, thanks a bunch for watching, and I hope you magical, fantastical, fantasy-loving, beautiful, magical souls all stay wonderful.